Hello students, welcome to my channel and today we are going to learn JEE main permutations and combinations. So we will discuss one questions that has previously asked in JEE main, that is from 6 different novels and 3 different dictionaries. 4 novels and a dictionary are to be selected and arranged in a row on the shelf such that the dictionary is in the middle. What is the number of such arrangements? So before solving these questions, two major formulas would be required to solve this question. So first we would try to cover those. Then we would uh, solve these questions that is asked in JEE main, and generally these kind of questions are more oftenly asked in JEE. So let's proceed. So understanding when to add and when to multiply possibilities is the fundamental principle of counting, which is the basis of permutations and combinations. So this is a very generic thing that is repeated in permutation and combination. That is the principle of adding and multiplication. So as many questions you will solve, you will encounter the same kind of issue, whether to add or whether to multiply the possibilities to find the total possibilities of completing any tasks. So in permutation and combinations, the major problems are asked about the total possibilities of completing any task or the arrangement, total arrangement you can arrange out of n elements. You need to arrange the r elements. So how many ways you can arrange those r elements out of the n? So these kind of problems, finding the number of possibilities and major applications of permutation and combination also lies in the probability. So this is an important topic in the perspective of JEE mains as well as the advanced. So let's focus on this because this concept, which is the concept of adding or multiplying, will be again and again asked in the questions from you. So as many as questions you will go through, you will again encounter the same doubt of adding or multiplication, nCr or nPr, or what is factorial. So these three concepts majorly would be used in permutation and combination again and again. So three concepts. First concept is principle of adding and multiplication. Second concept is nCr and nPr, and third concept is factorial. So you will encounter these three concepts again and again when you will go through the questions of P and C or probability. So from the perspective of JEE main and advanced, these three concepts are very useful. Okay, so these three concepts are very, very useful. So let's understand these three concepts. So understanding when to add and when to multiply possibilities is the fundamental principle of counting. So the key difference lies in whether the event must happen together to complete a single task, or if they represent alternative ways to complete the task. These two lines are very important. Let me explain you in a simpler terms. So, like if I want to complete event, this is event 1 and this is event 2. Okay. So when I go from here to here, there's one way here and one way here. In event 2, first I need to go here, let's say A to B, then to C. So in first event, I need to go from A to B. Okay. So if I need to go from A to B, what is happening? This is the first path and this is the second path. So whether the event must happen together. So one or two need to happen together to complete this task. Like this is a task that I want to go from A to B. So there's a need. Do there is a need to complete one as well as two, both? I would say no. Only one is sufficient. So this line is applicable here. Like if they represent alternative ways to complete the task. So these one and two represent the alternative ways to represent the task. Okay. But on the other hand, in event two, you would see that if I want to complete the task of going from A to C, like this, if I go from A to B only, then my task would be completed or not? Do my task would be completed? I would say no, because I want to go from A to C. So the event must happen together to complete a task. Means A to B is also needed and B to C is also needed. So this line represents this scenario. This line alternative ways. These are the alternative ways. One and two are the alternative ways. This one and this two are the alternative ways of going from A to B. But when I'm going from A to C, these are not alternative. I need to go from A to B as well as B to C. So if I go from this path, I also need to go from this path. These are not alternative. I need to go from all both of these paths. So this condition is different from this condition. In this condition, in event 2 scenario, I need to go from A to B as well as B to C. So here comes the AND rule. And in this scenario, either I can go from one or so here comes the OR rule. Okay. Let me summarize what I have explained till now. Like if I want to go from A to B, I can choose the either path. I can select any of them. Here, odd scenarios here. I can either I go from here or here or here. But if I need to go to C, I also need to go from A to B, this path also and this path also. So here AND is needed. It's AND. So in literal terms, if I say मुझे A से C जाना है तो मुझे A से B जाना पड़ेगा और फिर B से C भी जाना होगा। और यहाँ मैं लिटरल टर्म्स में बोलूंगा तो मुझे या तो मैं फर्स्ट पाथ से जा सकता हूँ या सेकंड पाथ से जा सकता हूँ या आ रहा है। So please be attentive on the term you are using. If you are using yeah, then it's a condition of alternative ways. You have alternative ways. Either you can go from one or two or three. या तो इससे जाओगे या तो इससे जाओगे या इससे जाओगे या आ रहा है इसमें. These are the alternative ways. कोई एक होगा तो दूसरा नहीं होगा. They represent the alternative task. ठीक है, alternative ways of completing the task. Alternative ways of completing the task. And here, these are not alternative ways of completing the task. They are sequential ways of completing the task. These both must happen together. I will go from A to B as well as B to C in order to complete this task. Okay. So this is the major difference between the OR principle and the AND principle. OR comes when you have the alternative ways of completing the task, and AND comes when you need to complete both the task to complete the task. Okay. So let's see what is here. You add the number of ways when you have to have a choice between mutually exclusive events, meaning if one event happens, the other cannot happen at the same time. This is called as the OR rule. So one question would be coming in your mind is what is mutually exclusive events? It's the similar thing as we have previously discussed, like mutually exclusive events are the scenario of these kind of events. Like if I go from one, I cannot go from two or three. If I'm going from three, I cannot go from the other two paths. Okay, if I'm going from this path, I cannot go from this to then this path to complete my work, that is to go from A to B. I need to go from A to B. So I can go from first path. So in this scenario, I missed these both path. In second way, I went from this path, so I missed the two second path. Sorry, first and third path. If I'm going from the third, I missed the first and second. So these are mutually exclusive events to complete a task. Okay. So one event can take place, other will not take place if one is taking place. Whereas non-mutually exclusive events are these. Like if I need to complete a task that is going from A to B to C, I need to go from this also and this also. So these are both not mutually exclusive. These both are sequential. Sequential. So when there is sequence of events, they are not mutually exclusive. Understand in this manner? When the events are not sequential, so they can be mutually exclusive. Okay, but sequential events can never be mutually exclusive. Remember this point, with sequential events can never be mutually exclusive. Okay, so this one path and second, one and two tasks are not mutually exclusive, they are sequential. Okay, because if I want to go from A to C, I need to go from A to B as well as B to C. So these are not mutually exclusive, they are sequential. But on the other hand, in this example, if I want to go from A to B, I can go from 1 or 2 or 3. Either can be chosen. So these are mutually exclusive. So 1, 2, 3, these three tasks are mutually exclusive, and this in this scenario where I need to go from A to C, this one, these tasks 1 and 2 are not mutually exclusive, whereas in this scenario, I want to go from A to B. So I am this one task, second task, and third task, these are mutually exclusive. I hope you got this point. So this is a very important point in the context of permutation and combination and probability. If you get this point very clearly, you will not face any problem in the future for the solving of the problems of permutation and combinations as well as the probability. So please try to understand this concept very deeply so that you will not face any issues in future. So again, let's clearly summarize it using an example. So student wants to select one object for a project. They can choose from five physics books, either P1 or P2. Please note this keyword or is coming here. Either P1 or P2 or P3 or P5, where PI represents the physics books. These are physics books like Physics 1. Let's say this is a SC Verma. This is Erodo. This is Singh. This is nCr. So they are different books, okay? Five books. And let's say this is one, two, three, four physics, five different books. And here, three chemistry books are there. Let's say this is nCr. This is SC Verma. Although there is no SC Verma for chemistry, still, I don't know if they have published new one. Let's say it's 338, it's organic chemistry book, okay? So there are eight books. And question is asking a student want to select one book for a project. They can choose from five physics book, either P1 or P2 or P3 or P5, and three chemistry books, either C1 or C2 or C3. Please note that or is coming. And whenever or comes, it means that those are mutually exclusive events. So for mutually exclusive events, what we do? Add. Okay. For mutually exclusive event, what we do? We add the events, add the tasks. Okay. So if I select, so how many ways I can select? I need to select only one book. So like if I select the SC Verma, this is the one way. If I select 1, 2, 3, 4 physics, that is the other way. If I select the Erodo, that is the other way. If I select nCrt, that is the other way. If I select Singh, that is the other way. If I select nCrt of chemistry, that is the other way. If I select SC Verma of chemistry, if it exists, then it is one way. And if I select the organic chemistry, so there are eight ways total. I would add all of them. So there are eight ways of selecting one book out of the eight books because or is written. Or you can select SC Verma or 1, 2, 3, 4 or Erodo or NCRT or Singh or NCRT of chemistry or SC Verma of chemistry or organic chemistry book. You need to select only one or keyword is coming again and again. Either you use SC Verma or 1, 2, 3, 4 or Erodo or NCRT or Singh or NCRT chemistry or SC Verma or organic. Whenever or keyword prevails, okay, so here is written that student must choose one book, which can be a physics book or a chemistry book. They cannot choose both books for a single action. So action need to complete it. And question is directly asking you that physics book or a chemistry book. You don't need to choose one physics or one chemistry. You need to choose only one out of all the eight. So here also or should come like is or case everywhere. P2 or P3 or P4. or P5 or P6, or sorry, P6 is not there because 5 physics books are there. So here it is C1 or C2 or C3. So everywhere is or. Okay, so one way to choose hook is 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. So wherever is or is coming, I am putting a plus sign over there, plus 1 plus 1. When I add all of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Answer comes to 8. There are 8 ways to complete this task. So one task is given. Okay, that's why I've taken these questions, because previously, as what we were discussing generally, so it gets little difficult to understand. But when we take an example, it becomes quite simple. Okay, so here 8 ways are there. I will make it more simpler. Okay, I will tell you the difference where you need to multiply for the sequential steps. That is a major confusion in most of the students. That's why most of the students fail to score in permutation and combination as well as the probability due to this slight confusion. Okay, this slight confusion. So always try to read the questions very attentively. Okay, so here this or is written. Please understand this. Or is written. Or is written. It means that you can select physics or chemistry. It's not necessary that one physics is there, so one chemistry should also be there. No, you need to select only one. It can be physics, it can be chemistry, it can be SC Verma, it can be any of them can be selected. But let's say I change this question a little bit. Now you will understand for the sequential steps. Here, everywhere or is written. You can see or. You always use the add for the or cases. But if and is there, how would you tackle that problem? Like if I say I need to select one physics book and in the place of or this one, this or in place of this or if and is there. So slight change in questions changes the approach, slight change in the keyword, or to end changes the whole scenario in permutation and combination. So that's why I'm repeating again and again. Many questions are failed due to the uh, slight mistake of question reading in permutation and combination. So if and is here, like let's say if in the place of or and is here. So a student must choose one book which can be physics. Let's say I say, let's say here in place of one, there is two. I am just changing a question a little bit. So please read the questions and its keywords very importantly. Okay. Always note the or and very attentively. If here is and, let's say. So a student need to choose two books. One can be physics and one can be chemistry now. I have changed the question a little bit. Okay. So now, first of all, when there are two tasks you need to complete first task first. Like if I need to select physics books, one physics book, I will complete first task. I need to complete first task first. I need to select one physics book. So in how many ways you can select a physics book? Either I can select S.C. Verma or Erodo or 1, 2, 3, 4 physics or Singage, as we have listed here, these 5 books. These 5 books are there of physics or NCRT. So I'm using the or keyword again. Please notice that or. So I would add to select one physics book. That is my task. First task I would complete first. So how many ways are there? One physics. Either I can select S.C. Verma or Erodo or 1, 2, 3, 4 physics or single or NCRT. So there are 5 ways because I'm using or either S.C. Verma or means plus or 1, 2, 3, 4 physics or Singage or NCRT. So 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, 5 times becomes 5. This task is completed. These are all in or. Either can be done and our task would be completed. कोई भी हो जाए, या एस सी वर्मा या एरोडो मिल जाए या 1, 2, 3, 4 सिलेक्ट कर लो या सिंगे सिलेक्ट कर लो या एनसीईआरटी सिलेक्ट कर लो, कोई भी एक सिलेक्ट कर लो। या आ रहा है या एस सी वर्मा या एरोडो या 1, 2, 3, 4 या सिंगेज या एनसीईआरटी, या आ रहा है तो इस टास्क को कंप्लीट करने के लिए या में ऐड होता है। ठीक है, एस सी वर्मा के लिए एक तरीका हो गया, या एरोडो सेलेक्ट कर लिया तो प्लस लगा दिया, उसके बाद 1 लिख दिया। एरोडो भी एक तरीका है सिलेक्ट करने का, है ना। हमें तो फिजिक्स का एक बुक सेलेक्ट करना है, दैट इज अवर टास्क। टास्क को कंप्लीट करने का कैसे कैसे तरीका होगा? एक तरीका होगा एस सी वर्मा या एरोडो या 1, 2, 3, 4 या सिंगेज या एनसीईआरटी, या यूज कर रहे हैं तो हमने ऐड करते गए उन तरीकों को। पर अब इधर एंड आएगा, अभी हमारा टास्क कंप्लीट नहीं हुआ है। एंड केमिस्ट्री को भी सिलेक्ट करना है, एक बुक केमिस्ट्री की भी सिलेक्ट करना है। ये सेकंड टास्क है। अब ये दोनों टास्क आपस में, देखो ये जो 5 टास्क थे ये आपस में म्यूचुअली एक्सक्लूसिव थे, कोई भी एक सिलेक्ट कर लो हमारा टास्क कंप्लीट हो जाएगा। बट ये दोनों टास्क क्या आपस में म्यूचुअली एक्सक्लूसिव हैं? ये दोनों आपस में म्यूचुअली एक्सक्लूसिव नहीं है। म्यूचुअली एक्सक्लूसिव नहीं है क्यों? क्योंकि एक फिजिक्स का भी सिलेक्ट करना और एक केमिस्ट्री का भी सिलेक्ट करना, एक फिजिक्स का सिलेक्ट करके हमारा टास्क कंप्लीट हो जाएगा क्या? नहीं होगा। जो अपडेटेड क्वेश्चन है उसमें एंड लिखा हुआ है, देखो ये हमने एंड कर दिया है इस और की जगह, और यहाँ 2 बुक्स कर दी है। प्रीवियस को सिनेरियो में जहाँ 1 बुक लिखा हुआ है और है उसमें तो एक सिलेक्ट करना था, फिजिक्स हो केमिस्ट्री हो, टास्क कंप्लीट हो जाता। बट यहाँ पे इधर एंड लिखा हुआ है, हियर एंड इज रिटन एंड हियर 2 इज रिटन, तो इधर म्यूचुअली एक्सक्लूसिव नहीं है। तो एक केमिस्ट्री का भी सिलेक्ट करना, तो कौन कौन से हैं हमारे पास केमिस्ट्री के ऑप्शन? वी हैव 3 ऑप्शंस, वी हैव रिटन हियर एनसीईआरटी केमिस्ट्री, एस सी वर्मा एंड ऑर्गेनिक केमिस्ट्री। तो या और आएगा यहाँ पे, या और एक ही बात है, या हिंदी में होता है और इंग्लिश में होता है, और एंड इंग्लिश में और इधर का और होता है। ध्यान रखना ये इंग्लिश में और या होता है। हम यहाँ पे ये वाला जो और है हम इंग्लिश में डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, वी विल डिस्कस इन इंग्लिश ओनली। ठीक है, तो इंग्लिश का जब और आएगा ना तब ये होता है, इसका मतलब म्यूचुअली एक्सक्लूसिव है वो। और हिंदी का और आता है इसका मतलब सीक्वेंशियल है। तो हम इंग्लिश में बात कर रहे हैं तो वी विल रिमेंबर वन थिंग, इफ और इज देयर मीन्स द इवेंट्स आर म्यूचुअली एक्सक्लूसिव, एंड इज देयर, सो these are sequential steps। so sequential steps हैं फिजिक्स का टास्क कंप्लीट हो गया. नाउ यू नीड टू select one of chemistry. You need to select one of the chemistry. So how many ways are there to select one chemistry book? One chemistry book, it is written here. You need to choose two, one of physics and one of chemistry. That is the question. If we have distorted a question little bit, like you need to select two, one of chemistry and one of physics. One of chemistry and one of physics. So in how many ways we have discussed previously that there are three chemistry books, C1, C2, or C3. That is not changed. Only we have changed the this one part here. These two books are there, and here you need to select one physics book and one chemistry book. This part is only changed. Otherwise, these number of books that are given are same as the previous question. Okay. We are discussing here one. You can either select the NCRT of chemistry or organic or is coming. So these are usually exclusive. One plus one plus one or SC Verma of the chemistry. These are both different books. SC Verma of physics. This is the SC Verma of physics. So these are both different books. These both have different contents. And this is the NCRT of physics. So this is a different book. So all the eight books are different. Okay. Now here end is there. So this event is completed selecting one physics, one chemistry and one physics. To complete all over the task, we need to add and is there. So we need to multiply both of them because and is here. So we multiply these ways 5 into 3. So there are 15 ways. Let me summarize this question in a simple terms. You will get it quite easily. I will again repeat this concept because this concept is very, very important and as well as confusing. I would say that this question sometimes the toppers confuse in these topics. Okay, so advanced questions are always tricky and they ask these kind of questions. So and in JMIN also probability questions, permutations questions test these skills. Okay. So let's discuss one thing. Okay. Again, I'm revising it for your understanding because if you understand this topic, it will be easier for you to crack all the problems of permutation and combinations and the probability. Okay. Let's again revise this problem. So as we have discussed, two things. First is mutually exclusive and the sequential. These two things we have discussed. These are quite opposite things. In these cases, or is used. In these cases, and is used. Like if I need to select one book out of 8 books. Okay. So in this question only, if I have 8 books, 5 of physics and 3 of chemistry, I need to select one. So I will always say literal and literal terms are या तो P1 या तो P2 या तो P3 या तो P4 या तो P5 या तो C1 या तो C2 या तो C3. In English, I will say yeah, either P1 or P2 or P3 or P4 or P5 or or C1 or C2 or C3. And as many as time I'm using the or, those are the way of selecting one book. ठीक है, so या तो P1 या तो प्लस, या तो P2, या तो P3, या तो P4, या तो P5, या तो C1, या तो C2, या तो C3. So here I will get the 8 ways. This question is not saying that book should be physics or chemistry. You are just given the student must choose one book which can be physics book or a chemistry book. It can be physics book or a chemistry book. Doesn't matter. They cannot choose both books for a single action. Only one book need to be selected. You can select any of them. So you are again and again using or. So these are mutually exclusive events. So that's why you are adding. Means you can do one thing only, one task only. If you choose one chemistry book, you don't need to choose again the physics book. The task is completed. Okay. Mutually exclusive event, as we have previously discussed, mean the same thing. That mutually exclusive events are the event that if one completes, other do not need to be completed. One physics book is chosen, the task is completed. Now you don't need to choose the chemistry book. That is what is meant by the mutually exclusive events. So whenever the mutually exclusive events, you will see that your literal terms will be or. Okay. या तो ये या तो ये या तो ये या तो ये या तो P1 या तो P2 या तो P3 या तो P4 या तो P5 या तो C1 या तो C2 या तो C3. So these are all mutually exclusive. On the other hand, there is a climax here now, and where every student is stuck. There's a, this is the main point and tricky point here. If you get this, you will 100% get the score in permutation, because this is a very slight difference, slight problem that every student faces. On the other hand, let's see the sequential. Sequential, let's say if in the place if this or, let's erase this or now. And I am saying that and. Please notice these keywords are very important. Question reading is very, very, very important. So JEE Main and Advanced majorly focuses on the question reading. If you read the question nicely, then you are on the right path. Otherwise, if you read the question unattentively, then it's very difficult to get a score, because on first step only you have done the mistake, which is the question reading. Question reading is very, 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 very important. First step, read it. And is here. And in place of, let's say, one book of each subject is here, let's say. The student must choose one book of each subject. Okay. Of each subject, which can be physics book, which can be one physics book and one chemistry book. This is the question now. Let me rewrite this whole line again, and other part is same. The student must choose one book of each subject. One can be of physics and is coming here. Please notice this keyword and one of chemistry. So there, where is the climax? Here is the climax of this question now. Okay, you will see why people get stuck here. So previously it was simpler that you need to select, there are 8 books, you need to select one, you select either. But here now there's this slight trick. One book of each subject. So first of all, you will complete the first part, just selecting one physics book, which can be selected in 5 ways because 5 different books of physics are there: S.C. Verma, Aero, 1, 2, 3, 4, NCRT, as well as single. But you need to select only one. So these 5 events are mutually exclusive in themselves. If SC Verma is selected, these 4 can't be selected. That's what mutually exclusive means. Means if one is completed, other do not need to be completed. If you selected SC Verma of physics, you don't need to select Singh, Rodo. Okay. So complete to select one physics book. One way is selecting SC Verma. So this is a mutually exclusive from all the other 4. So you will add in this case, okay? या तो एस सी वर्मा या तो एरोडो या तो 1 2 3 4 या तो या आ रहा है तो ऐड कर रहे हैं वी आर एडिंग एस सी वर्मा और सिंगेज और 1 2 3 4 और सिंगेज और दी एनसीईआरटी. So there are 5 ways of completing this event. But our task is not yet completed. So sometimes an option 5 is also given. So you would in hurry, what we do is like 5 is an option. Let's take sometimes we mistake that we misunderstand the question. Like we can misunderstand it. Like there are 8 books. I need to select one out of them. Like it was in previous part when I did not remove this and here or was there na. So in place of and you just read that it's or you think that it is not like this. Like if question is this and you interpret it as this, and if in option 8 is there, so you would tick the 8. And if question is this and you just solve for this much part only and you forgot to read this much line, now you would tick 5. Like option A is 5 and they generally give the wrong option first only. Your half path and you've seen that yeah, 5 is an option, let's go for 5. And this is for simpler parts, like yes, student use a simple and they have not read the question attentively. They understood is this like this only, so they will give the option 8 and you will tick 8. But if you are attentive and you have read the question completely, you would move towards this end part also. Now end is here. And one of the chemistry and one of chemistry is also used. So you need to complete this event also. So how can you complete this task? You need to select one chemistry book. One chemistry NCERT is there, one chemistry organic book is there, and one is SC Verma chemistry is there. या तो आपको एक ही सिलेक्ट करना है, या तो एनसीईआरटी. इस टास्क को कंप्लीट करने के लिए या तो आप एनसीईआरटी का ले लोगे, सेलेक्ट कर लोगे तो आपका काम हो गया, या तो एससी वर्मा ले लोगे या तो ऑर्गेनिक ले लोगे. कुछ भी लेना है एक. तो या आ रहा है तो यू विल एट दिस 3 आर mutually exclusive. Means if you take one, there is no need to do the other. So you will add 1 plus 1 plus 1. If you choose the path of SC Verma, then NCRT or the organic chemistry. There are 3 books to complete this task, 3 ways of completing this task. Now end is there, but to complete the whole task, this task is completed in 5 ways and this task is completed in 3 ways. End is here now. So you will multiply it with the 5 with the 3. So answer would be 15. Please remember one thing, question reading is very, very important. Note the word or and, okay, or and. If or is there, then you need to add, and is there, you need to multiply. Okay. If one task need to be completed in 5 ways, another task is completed by 3 ways, but your task is to complete both the tasks, then to complete both the task, 5 into 3 ways are there to complete the complete task. I hope you got this point. This is a slight point in slight difference between or and and. So this is a major tricky part in permutation and combination and probability that is majorly asked in JEE Main as well as advanced also. So I hope this tricky part, if you grasp this little difference, then it would be very easy and beneficial for you to score in permutation and combination as well as the probability. So please put the emphasis and think about it. If you think and if you see how you are doing problem and mistakes, then you will see that how problem understanding will help you in getting the right direction. If you understand what problem are you are doing, then you will understand that this problem I'm doing, I'm understanding and in place of or I'm completing the question halfway only and I'm not going fully. I am understanding mutually exclusive into the sequential. This in this way you will understand like what so question practice becomes important then. Okay. We will discuss more about it. It's a very important topic. That's why I'm putting so much emphasis and revising again and again. I hope you are getting the point to do the questions and ask the doubts. Then it would become very easy for me also to understand what are the problems you're facing and to solve them. Now, let's take one more example because it will help you to understand this topic more easy, more and deeper manner. Okay, so the multiplication principle. You can multiply the number of ways when a single task involves a sequence of steps, where a successful completion of the first step is followed by the second step, and so on until the task is complete. This is the end rule. Overall task requires all of these steps to be performed in a sequence. The event occurs in succession. As we have discussed in the previous questions, like select one physics book and select one chemistry book. So the task comes in the sequence, non-mutually exclusive. Like if you select one physics book, your task is not over. If that is the case, like if selecting one physics book and your task is over, that means that it is those tasks are mutually exclusive. But this is not the case. You need to select one physics book and you need to select one chemistry book. These both tasks are not mutually exclusive. These are sequential. Okay, these are sequential steps. So the overall task require all of these steps to be performed in sequence. Okay. First, you need to do this task and then you need to do this task. So this is a sequential. The events occur in succession. Okay. Then only task is completed. Whereas the mutually exclusive events are like this, that there are 5 physics group, या तो ये, या तो ये, या तो ये. So these comes with the mutually exclusive. You select either of them. There are 5 ways of selecting five among 5 physics book. You need to select one. So these are 5 ways. And again, selecting one chemistry books out of 3 chemistry books. There are 3 ways. And when you multiply, you get the answer. For the non-mutually exclusive events, you multiply. These are not both. These both are not. These 3 are mutually exclusive. So you add it. In this case, that 1 way plus 1 way plus 1 way plus 1 way plus 1 way. So these here comes the 5 ways. Here you added 1 plus 1 plus 1. Here comes the 3 ways. So these are non-mutually this is the mutually exclusive, but these both are not mutually exclusive. These are sequential. So 5 into 3. So 15 ways. So that's what this statement is telling. All of the steps to be performed. Like if there is only one step, so these are not the multiplication rule is not applicable. If you need to select five physics among five physics books, one physics books need to be selected. There is no need of this multiplication here. You will add 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 five times. 5 is the answer of selecting one physics books among five. But if you need to select one chemistry books also, so and is coming now. Five physics book से एक फिजिक्स बुक निकालना है and you need to select one chemistry book out of three. And is coming, multiply is coming, sequential steps, सीक्वेंस में हो रहा है पहले फिजिक्स फिर केमिस्ट्री, पहले फिजिक्स का एक सिलेक्ट किया फिर केमिस्ट्री का एक सिलेक्ट किया, सीक्वेंस पहले ये होगा फिर ये होगा, सो सीक्वेंस इज देयर, सो multiplication will come first, second, then these are both are sequential, then multiplication will come. Please remember this slide point. But like if to complete this task, there I have may four ways. So four ways. So I will add 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. So like this is, let's say here, five physics books are there. I need to select one physics box out of them. That is my task. तो यह आएगा कीवर्ड में, कीवर्ड का बहुत ध्यान रखना। और एस वर्मा और इरोडो और एनसीईआरटी और, so or is coming in question, so you will add this is what the mutual exclusive mean. एक हो गया तो you don't bother about the other. So let's move the question that would practice will clear your doubts when you will face many problems. You will understand what are the problems you are facing, what are the misconception you have made, then you will obviously get to the clarity. The restaurant offers two course meal, one from three main course and one from two dessert. And is here the keyword. Please note the keyword. Question reading is very, very important. And is here. Okay. Question. If you understand the question, with 50% of the problem is already solved. If you do not get the question, then you have already reduced your marks, because if you first step is question reading. If you miss that step, then there's no point of moving ahead. Now question reading is very, very, very important. So like restaurant offers two course meal, one from three main course and one from two dessert. So there are two tasks is there. Task one and task two, and is between there. So whatever the ways that will be here and whatever the ways that will be here will be multiplied, because and is here. These both are the sequential steps. Sequential. Whenever the sequential steps comes, and keyword is used. And keyword is used. These keyword you will face again and again and again in permutation and combination. Please notice this. And up now you need to select three main course and one from three main courses. Three different main courses are there. Let's say there is a roti, there is rice and dosa. So to select one main course out of three, how many ways are there? You need to select only one. So please, when you say literally, try to say literally. You need to select one main course out of three. So either I will select roti or rice or dosa. Or is coming, so I will add. These ways are added. And is coming, so I will multiply. Again, two dessert are there, is like say rasgulla and the ice cream. या तो रसगुल्ला, हाँ भाई रसगुल्ला पसंद है तो खाएंगे यार, या तो आइसक्रीम, तो दो आएगा, मल्टीप्लाई कर देंगे तो दे विल कम टू 6. The sixth way you can complete the whole meal. There are two events to complete this whole event. Like you need to complete meal. So first of all, you need to complete the main course. Then you need to complete the dessert part. these both need to be multiplied, and these ways need to be find out. Ways need to be find out. Find out these ways, find out these ways, multiply both of them because and is here. And here or is there roti or rice or dosa. Okay, I hope you are getting this point. Please try to solve more problems and please tell me if there is doubt. Then we will discuss and surely you will understand this. Addition, selecting one item from different and distinct groups or is used. Let's summarize this concept. Okay, it's a very, very, very important concept. Let's summarize this. Okay, very, very, very important concept. As much as important, I can say for JEE main as well as advanced. Many various questions are asked in advanced, like plenty of questions, hundreds of questions. Okay, so addition. Select one item. These are the principal, two principles as we have previously discussed. We are summarizing it, addition and multiplication. So selecting one item from different distinct groups, alternative choice, whenever the alternative choices are there. We previously discussed either roti or chapati or is there. So or connecting verb is used. So operation is plus. Either roti or chapati, you are adding, na? We were adding. But in the second case, and was there. Like now your meal is to complete first of all main course and then you need to complete the dessert part. So multiply is there. Selecting one item from each of several groups, sequential steps. Sequential steps was there, na? Main course, then and in sequence you multiply. So the ways of main course and the ways of dessert and you multiply both of them. That comes the answer of the full meal. So that is a summary of it. Please try to revise it and see the lecture again if you have some doubt. Now we will move towards the next concept. Again, an important, very, very, very important topic from the perspective of the JEE main and advanced. So this is the topic where majorly student faces the problem. That's why I am discussing this topic because this is the topic where major student faces the problems. So that's why I'm again and again focusing on these topics and under I have various queries of students that take this. I have, sir, I have confusion of and of nPr and nCr. What is the slight difference? I always lose marks in permutation and combination. But please help me in understanding these slight problems. What I do. So let's focus on these slight problems. Now again, nPr and nCr. These are both are they looks quite similar, but they are not similar. So let's see what is the difference. देखो, NCR like I have various objects like O3, O4, O5, and O6 and O7. Okay, I have various. So before understanding this, let first of all understand one concept. What is factorial? Factorial like 4 factorial. What is the 4 factorial? Is it equal to 4 or is it equal to 4 into 3? Or 4 factorial is equals to 4 into 3 into 2. What do you think? It is equal to this. So factorial means multiplying this integer, which is given like 4 factorial. So with its preceding integers till 1. Like n factorial means n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 till 1. Okay. Let's write it here. N factorial is n into n minus 1 into its preceding integer till 1. Like 4 factorial becomes 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Okay. 3 factorials become 3 into 2 into 1. Okay. 2 factorial becomes 2 into 1. So this is what factorial mean. Okay. Now let's see the difference. What is nCr and what are nPr? So these are the ways of selection of R number of objects from n distinct objects. So there are n distinct objects O1, O2, O3 till On. And I need to select some R objects. Okay. So if I'm selecting them, like if I like say if I need to select only three out of them, I selected O1, O2, and O3. So how many ways I can do it? Like I can select these three or these three or any other three group. So how many ways are there? So that is represented by the making group of R object out of n objects. That is in how many ways I can do this. Like this can be a way, this can be a way two, this can be a way, this can be a way. There can be many ways. So how many ways are there? So these ways are represented by nCr. And what is nPr? What is nPr, sir? You will ask me what is the nPr then? There's a major slight difference, very slight difference is there. Here in nPr, this order, like not only grouping matters. Grouping means like O1, O2, O3, and O2, O1, O3. I have selected these three and these three. These both are considered same in the nCr. This will not be because if in grouping, what happens in grouping O1, O2, O3, O3, O2, O1, O1, O3, and O2. These three are same. They're not different. But if you see in permutation or arrangement, okay, if these keywords are there, please notice these keywords. Okay, please notice these keywords. Please notice these keywords like if there is group 3 out of 10, like these keywords are used, group R out of N, group or select. So these all means the nCr. nCr would be useful here. Okay. nCr will be used nCr for this and 10C3 for the first case this. So now the one question would be coming in your mind, what is nCr? We will learn the formula of nCr, but first try to understand the difference between nCr and nPr, then we would move to the formula of them. Now, what is nPr? Now the terms like this comes. nPr arrange 3 out of 10, permutate 3 out of 10, permutate R out of N. So in that case, nPr is used. nPr is used when you need to arrange, where order matters. Order is here significant. Order is significant. है ना? Order is significant. Like O1, O2, O3, and O3, O1, O2, and O2, O1 and O3. These three are treated as different in nPr because here is arrangement and there's no arrangement. So in nCr, these three are treated as only one. So count is reduced. Okay, count is reduced in nCr, whereas in count is increased by r factorial times. We will see in the formula. It is increased by r factorial time in nPr. I hope that you got this point that nPr is greater because order matters there. So count always basically these both are used to find the counts of groups. Okay, find the counts of groups. Okay, like there are you have 10 objects, you need to group three out of them. You have distinct n objects like O1, O2, as you mentioned previously only, so I have to write again. There are 10, 1, O2, O1, O3 till On, and I need to group three. In how many ways I can group them? Like one way is this O1, O2, O3, other way is O2, O3, O4. Okay. Let's say O1, O2, O3, O4, O5, and O6. I need to group, I need to group them in three pairs. I can group them like this, like this, or like this. There are four ways. Okay. There are four ways to group them. So formula is n factorial upon n minus r factorial upon r factorial. This is grouping 3 out of 6. Means how many groups you can make. This is the formula. Okay, there are 6 objects are there. You need to group in 3. How many groups can be made? How many groups can be made? So this is the formula. Factorial we have previously discussed. Let's put the positions of n is 6. Total is 6. And in how many groups should contain how many elements? That is R. 3. N minus R also becomes 3 in this. So let's solve this again. N 5 into 4 into 3 into 2. And this becomes 3 into 2 and 3 into 2. So 6, 3 into 2 is 6. That would be cancelled by 8. 3 into 2 is cancelled here. So here comes 20 ways. You would say that I can't see the 20 ways here. Sir, you have done some problem. I can't see 20. We will see that one group is this, two group. Now again, this is third group. Now again, this is fourth group. Now, what are the other ways, sir? What are the other ways? You can also select O1, O2 with O6. That is also the way. Or you can select O1, O2 with O5, O1, O2 with O4. है ना? So with every group, 3 more groups are coming. O1, O2, O3 have other 4 groups also. Okay, so in this way, more groups are added. Like similarly, you can also add like O1, O2. So to minimize these calculations and the problem, the formula is invented. So why to go an unnecessary calculations? Just use this formula. In this way, many can be done. Many groups can be made. Okay. This formula is discovered to minimize this calculation because it is very time taking and there is a exam of the time only. So NCR is that is why NCR is used. I hope you got this point. So whenever the problem is asking to make 3 object group out of 10 object group, use the formula of nCr. Okay. I hope I need to revise this concept again because this is very crucial from the point of view of J main and advanced. Like you can see O1, O2, O3 is made. Now O1, O2 with other, you can't say that n minus 2 would be the answer for this. N minus 2 is not the answer. You can't count like this, like O1, O2, O3, O2, O3, O4, O3, O4, O5 group, and O4, O5, O6 group. And similarly, you can say that n minus 2 groups. No, O1, O2 with On can also be a group. O1, O2, O3 with On can also be a group. O1, O2 with some middle element can also be a group. So there are many possibilities. O1, O2 with any other element also. There are many elements between here. So nCr should be used, not n minus 2. Okay. But let's see. But remember one thing. Here O2, O3 and O3, O2, O1 are treated as similar. But in nPr, it do not mean this. So nPr is considering these two as a different count. So count increases in nPr. So nCr is r factorial times the nPr multiplied. It becomes greater. nCr into r factorial because these are treated as different. Like if this is the number of way for nCr in nPr, this is also considered as a way. So here 2 comes. So nPr becomes greater. ओके. जैसे अगर ये एक तरीका है 3 ऑब्जेक्ट को ग्रुप करने का अमंग एन, तो एनसीआर में ये उसमें ऐड नहीं होता, ये इसको सेम ही ट्रीट करता है एनसीआर. ठीक है, क्योंकि सिलेक्शन है उसमें. इन ग्रुपिंग ऑर्डर डज नॉट मैटर. ऑर्डर डज नॉट मैटर. इफ यू नीड टू ग्रुप 3 ऑब्जेक्ट आउट ऑफ एन ऑब्जेक्ट, order do not matters. Either you say O1, O2, O3, O3, O2, O1, yeah, O3, O2, O1, you know, are all same because this group matters. Like these three are there, this matter. This comes first, this comes first. That does not matter in grouping. Grouping, whenever the question asks group 3 elements out of 100 elements, order do not matter, use nCr, that is 10, 100, C3. Simple. But when order matters, like you have a chair. This is not looking as chair. Yeah. Let's say you have 3 chairs. This is chair one. This is chair two. This is chair three. Now you need to find how many ways you can arrange 100 people on these chair. You need to arrange 100 people on this chair. You need to arrange 100 people on this chair, on these 3 chairs. Now the order matters. If if O1 is sitting here, O2 is sitting here, O3 is sitting here. If O3 is sitting here, O2 is sitting here, and O1 is sitting here. These three are different orders now. So here arrangement is there. And whenever is arrangement, you use the nPr. So 100 C3 would be, if you we want to arrange 100 people on, where P would be there. This is the mistake we generally do. Replacing C with P, and that creates minus marking. So you need to arrange 3 chairs are there, one, two, three, like rank are there. 100 students are there. Let's imagine 100 students are there. Okay. Let's take a real world example. Let's take a real world example. There are 100 students in class, and you need to find how many ways. Like after 1 year, you are just thinking, like, how can first, second, and third rank be placed? Like student one, student two, student three. Like say Ramu, Sonu, and Kavita. These got the three rank. In similar way, 97 students are left now out of 100. This can be rank. This also can be a rank. Kavita, Ramu, and Sonu. This also can be a rank. Sonu भी बोलता है भाई Sonu. Why Sonu can't come first? Sonu will also say I will come first. Ramu. So this is one arrangement, and these 97 will also come in this arrangement. Other student would also say that we are also in the race. We can also come first, second, third. So if you are thinking before 1 year, like how many ways are there that these three ranks would be filled? Who would come first? Who would come second? Who would come third? So there can be, like, if you say you are giving a JEE main exam and there are 15 lakh students sitting, this is 15 lakh students are sitting in exam, and you are thinking that how many ways, what are the possibilities that three ranks can be filled. So there are many possibilities because people are just starting the preparation. You don't never know who perform better, who is learning, who is seeing my lectures and solving and understanding those slight differences and question reading importance. So you never know those things. So you can say that 15 lakh C3 possibilities are there. P3, sorry. 15 P3, 15 lakh P3 possibilities are there that any three student can take the rank. Okay, so that's about a real life example. So in this way, let's say, so how can we it use? How can we can use it? What is the real life application of it? So let's say need to print. Somebody need to print the ranks now only. They do not have time after 1 year. After 1 year, they will say, I'm busy. I will not print anything. So from now only, this much. Let's say JE saw the registered student, 15 lakh registered students. Okay, what is the, we are seeing the applications of it. Let's let's say that 15 lakh students, 15 lakh students are there. Now, somebody from NTA or and CBS, whatever, education ministry, went and they just uh, ready made the ranks now. One, two, three, run, song, Kapita. They have created one poster of this poster of this, Kavita, song, and run. Again, one more poster. Ramu is on third rank now, and song and Kavita. So in this way, they have ready made the posters because they will not have the time. After 1 year, they said we will not have the time. I'm making the posters now only. I will not have time after the 1 year. So they made the whatever ranks comes, you choose from them and dispose. If this prevails after 1 year, you can paste this after 1 year. I am making it right now only. They will make 15 lakh P3 posters. They will make 15 lakh P3 posters, and anyone can be used after 1 year by the education ministry to showcase the ranks. Because that person told that after 1 year I would not get time. So, and also printing machine can get a bill by easily using this formula. They will say that 15 lakh P3 into per poster money, let's say that 10 rupees per poster. They would pay this much amount. This is the real life applications of what is P3 and nCr and nPr. So let's move ahead out of this real world example. Try to solve more questions. That is what important. So we were discussing out, I told you previously that I would tell you the formula. So nCr becomes n factorial upon n minus r factorial upon r factorial, and nPr is greater because it also order is also matter here. So n minus r factorial is multiplied. So there's a relation between them. We will see later on. Let's move ahead with a simple example, because example will clear all your doubts. So you have three friends ABC, you want to select two of them stand in line. Please read the question very well. I'm again repeating, again and again repeating. The good students and good toppers always read the questions, because the slight misreading in questions creates the problem. And if the question is wrong and can't get the right answer. You have three friends ABC, you want to select two of them stand in a line. Stand in a line. So here order matters, because if one is standing here and two is standing here and two is standing here, one is standing here. So this is not, we need not to make groups here, because in groups 1, 2 and 2, 1 are treated similar. So count do not increase this. Means R factorial is not multiplied. Let's see. So here order matters, because we need to stand them in a line. So like if A is standing, B is standing here, and B is standing here, and A is standing in a line, always remember that it's a permutation question. Means arrangement is there. So nPr will use. So use the nPr now. 3p2, 3 factorial divided by the 2 factorial. No, sorry, 3 minus 2 factorial. So answer comes to be 3 into 2, which is 6. Okay. But let's say, sir, please give me the example like nCr. Should we use, where should we use nCr? Can you give me one example for that? Yeah, obviously I can give you that example also. Like let's see if stand in line. So let's say in place of a stand in a line, nothing is here. You have three friends and you want to select two of them. Now selecting or the grouping. So when these kind of terms are used and not in line, so arrangement is not there. So you will use the formula of NC2, which is 3 factorial divided by 1 factorial into 2 factorial. So answer will come 3. You just need to make groups. You will see later on. Next part is that only. So when order does not matter. NCR is when order does not matter. Combination is about the selecting or grouping the set of items is what not what's important, not the sequence. Sequence is never important here, which you pick them. Meaning the number of base R items from a total of n items where the order of selection is ignored. Order of selection is ignored. Order of selection is not matter here. So you have three friends, you want to select a group of two of them. Whenever a group term comes, you just need to make groups. Means that AB and BA are the same thing here. Okay. So nPr divided by R factorial. You divide it by the R factorial here. Because order do not matter, so number of the count will be decreased. So decreasing, you will divide by the R factorial. Or you can say it's the nCr. These both are the same thing. Let's say you have a three friends ABC and you want to select a group of two of them. The 3C2 will be used and 3C2 is 3 factorial upon 3 minus 2 factorial into 2 factorial. This is 3 into 2 upon 1 into 2. So answer comes to be 3. Let's use this one to confirm that if they mean the same thing or not. Like n factorial upon n minus r factorial. This is nPr. So this comes to be 3 and r is 2 here. 3 minus 2 is 1. So this comes to be 3 factorial and r factorial need to be divided. nPr is this. Now r is 2 here. 2 factorial is divided. 3 factorial divided by 2 factorial comes to be 3 again. 3 factorial is 3 into 2 and 2 factorial is 2 into 1. 2 and 2 get cancelled and answer is 3. I hope you understand this point. If you practice more questions, then you will finally understand this concept easily. The combination of formula nCr is simply the permutation formula nPr divided by r factorial. We previously discussed that nCr is nPr into nPr divided by r factorial. Here, division is there. nPr is greater than nCr by r factorial times. nPr is greater than nCr by r factorial times. So nCr into r factorial becomes the nPr. Why? The division of by r factorial is a mathematical way to remove the duplicates. Means you are dividing by r factorial means you are removing these duplicates. Like nPr has treated them as different. These counts, it is counted this also. Like O1, O2, O3 here also, O3, O2, O1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 is here also, here also. And third case also it is here. So these duplicates are removed. These duplicate because nCr treats them as one only. Okay, so divided by r factorial. So nPr, these are divided, these duplicates, and in this manner, many duplicates are received in nPr. Okay, because order is matter of concern there. Order is the matter of concern in nPr. So this, so in nCr, order do not matter. So it need to reduce the duplicates. So this nPr is divided by the r factorial. I hope you got this point. In future classes, we would again go through more problems of the permutation and combination. That is a major topic for the JEE main and advanced. So we will be doing more questions. Let's do one question in this video and then we will wrap off the class. So from six different novels, three different dictionaries, four novels and a dictionary are to be selected and arranged in a row on the shelf such that the dictionary is in the middle. What is the number of such arrangements? So previous two concepts would be used in this question. Let's open our brain and revise those two concepts. What do two concepts we have used? Or and rule. So whenever or is there, we add, and whenever and is rule. This is for the mutually exclusive events, and this is for the sequential events. Okay, so this is one concept we have used, and again, selecting R objects out of n distinct objects. This and arranging R objects out of n objects, nPr. These both formula we have used. And third one we have used is n factorial is n minus r factorial upon r factorial is the result of nCr, and n factorial n minus r factorial is the result of nPr. This much we have previously discussed. Okay, I reversed everything for you. Now let's think about this question. Okay, please read this question and try to attempt it. If you get any issue, then please tell me, then I will solve your queries. Let's think about this question. Try to solve it of your own, then, because that would create the memory of concepts and a better understanding. So let's please read the question from 6 different novels and 3 different dictionaries. 6 different novels. 4 novels are need to be selected. 4 novels are need to be selected. And a dictionary are to be selected. And one dictionary are need to be selected. And is here. And keyword is there. And is here. Please read the question very carefully. And is here. And is here. And. So after completing of 4 novels, you will be multiplying. And is here. Because these are not mutually exclusive. Sequential events are, these both are sequential tasks. First you will select the novels, then you will select the dictionary. So multiply will come, but you need to select what novels first. So how many novels need to be selected? 4 novels. So we have discussed the selecting R out of N. How many ways are there? nCr. But if you see the question ahead, arranged in a row on the shelf, such that the dictionary is in the middle. Okay. So this type of thing is required here. If you can see, 4 novels and one dictionary in middle. So you need to arrange these four. So 4 need to be arranged. First step is this: select 4 novels and arrange them. Arrange is there, arrange is coming, arrange. So arrange is coming, you would use the formula nPr. How many total are there? 4. How many? No, sorry. 6 are there. 6 novels are there. How many need to be arranged? 4. And my why multiplies her? Because and is here. See, and is there. This and. This is first novel's work is first, and then you need to multiply second. So these both events are sequential. First event would be completed, then second event will be completed, and multiplies in between. Multiplies in between. Okay. Multiplies in between. So 4 novels, how many ways you can arrange in how many ways? 6p4. And in how many ways you can select this one dictionary? 3. Obviously, you need to select one out of the 3. So 3 is here. Got this point? It's simple. You need to select any dictionary out of them. D1, D2, D3. How many ways? Yeah, D1 होगा या तो D2. या तो या is coming, so you will add 1 plus 1 plus 1. Mutually exclusive events. और यहाँ भी you use the formula of permutation. Now you will multiply. So yeah, mutually exclusive concept is used, which we have previously discussed. nPr, nCr concept is also used, which we have previously discussed. and this multiplication for the non-mutually exclusive and sequential events, that is also used. So the integration of these three is then one JEE main question. So that's what JEE main question demands, the integration of many concepts. Okay. Now you will do that 6p4 into 3. Okay. So 6p4, what is 6p4? 6 factorial upon 2 factorial into 3. So 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 divided by 2 into 3. This is 30. 30 into 4 into 3 into 3. 120 into 9. That is 1080. Answer is 1080. And 1080 ways you can do this task, complete this task. So again, summarizing it, this task is split into two tasks. First, you complete the novels. You arrange the novels, 4 novels out of 6, like this. This is the first task, these 4, and this is the second task. And first novels and then dictionary. So and is coming, so you will multiply both of them. So how many ways you can arrange this? R objects out of n is nPr formula, which is 6 novels are there total, 6p4, and you need to select the 3 dictionaries out of only one dictionary out of 3, so that is 3c1. Now you will multiply both of them, 6p4 into 3, that would be the answer. I hope you got this concept. We will solve many problems again, and you will easily understand. Again, we will again and again we will focus on this concept of mutual exclusive events, sequential events with JEE main problems, integrating with the nCr and nPr. And you will easily get the concept. Thank you so much. This is enough for today's class. Please keep practicing. Thank you so much.